Respected viewers, dear family of dreamers, thank you for allowing me a quiet moment of your attention. I come to you not as someone above you, but as someone who has spent a lifetime watching human behavior, watching money shape choices, and watching how small habits quietly decide our destiny. Let me begin with a thought that may feel uncomfortable. What if the reason saving money feels impossible is not because you earn too little, but because life has trained you to think in a way that quietly steals from your future? Think about this for a moment. Two people earn the same income. One slowly builds peace, security, and freedom. The other feels stuck, anxious, always asking, "Where did my money go?" Same salary, different destiny. That is not luck. That is mindset. Most people believe wealth is created by big moments, a big raise, a big investment, a lucky break. But the truth is quieter, more dangerous, and more powerful. Wealth is created or destroyed by what you do repeatedly when no one is watching. I have seen hard-working people, honest people, intelligent people remain broke their entire lives, not because they were lazy, not because they were foolish, but because they never understood the invisible forces pulling money out of their hands before it had a chance to grow. Saving money feels impossible because the world around you is designed to make it feel that way. From the moment you earn your first paycheck, life whispers lies into your ear. You deserve this. Buy it now. Enjoy today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. And slowly, silently, tomorrow never does. Let me tell you a simple story. A young man once came to me proud of his job. Every month his salary arrived like clockwork, and every month it vanished just as reliably. He wasn't reckless. He paid his bills. He helped his family. He enjoyed small comforts, good food, a better phone, a short trip now and then. At the end of the month, he had nothing left, except stress. He said, "I try to save, but something always comes up." That sentence, "something always comes up," is the anthem of financial struggle. The truth is not that emergencies are rare. The truth is that life is unpredictable. And when you live without margin, every small surprise becomes a crisis. Saving money feels impossible when your life has no buffer, no breathing room, no patience. Most people treat savings as what's left over. Wise people treat savings as what comes first. But here is the deeper problem, and this is where it becomes uncomfortable. Saving requires saying no to yourself. No to impulses, no to social pressure, no to the version of you that wants comfort now instead of freedom later. And that version of you is very persuasive. Your brain is wired for immediate reward. It wants pleasure today, relief today, validation today. Saving money offers none of that. It offers something abstract, something distant, something invisible. That is why saving feels painful at first. You are asking your present self to sacrifice for a future self you have not yet learned to respect. Most people don't fail financially because they lack information. They fail because they lack patience. They underestimate how powerful small, consistent actions become over time, and they overestimate how much happiness short-term spending will bring. I have seen people chase higher income while ignoring higher discipline. That is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole at the bottom. If you do not learn to save a little, you will never save a lot. If you cannot manage scarcity, abundance will destroy you. Here is a hard truth. Money saved is not money lost. It is money delayed for a better purpose. Saving is not about deprivation. It is about direction. When you save, you are telling your money where to go.
instead of wondering where it went. And once you understand that, once you truly feel it, saving stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like power. But power takes time. In this first part, I want you to sit with one simple idea. Saving feels impossible not because you are weak, but because no one taught you to build systems stronger than your impulses. And systems, unlike motivation, do not get tired. This is only the beginning. There is much more to uncover about habits, identity, and the quiet decisions that separate lifelong stress from lasting peace. Let us continue exactly where we left off. If saving money feels impossible, it is often because your financial life is built on emotions instead of structure. Emotions are powerful, but they are unreliable. They change with mood, stress, comparison, and fear. Structure, on the other hand, does not argue with you. It simply works. Most people wait to feel ready to save. That day rarely comes. Think about this carefully. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. When your salary comes in, what happens first? Does your money automatically move towards your future, or does it sit quietly, waiting to be spent by your present desires? Middle-income families often fall into a dangerous pattern. They earn just enough to feel hopeful, but not enough to feel secure. That gap creates pressure, and pressure creates poor decisions.
They upgrade their lifestyle the moment income rises. A better phone, a better car, a bigger house. Not because these things are evil, but because they arrive before discipline does. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is one of the most silent enemies of wealth. Let me share another story. There was a couple who earned modestly but steadily. Every raise felt like relief. Every bonus felt like progress. Yet after 10 years, they had no meaningful savings, no investments, no peace. Why? Because every increase in income was matched perfectly by an increase in spending. Their life became more comfortable, but also more fragile. Comfort without margin is dangerous. Saving money feels impossible when your identity is tied to consumption, when you believe success looks like what you can show instead of what you can withstand. Truly wealthy thinking is boring at first. It lacks drama. It avoids excitement. It prefers slow growth over fast pleasure. Most people don't want to hear this, but wealth is built by doing unremarkable things consistently for a very long time. Saving works the same way. You don't fix saving by making one heroic decision. You fix it by removing daily friction. Here is how you begin to fix it, quietly, calmly, without force. First, pay yourself before you pay anyone else, even if it is small, especially if it is small. Saving 5% matters more than saving nothing while waiting for 20%. Second, separate your money from temptation. If your savings sit next to your spending money, your willpower will eventually lose. That is not a character flaw, that is human nature. Automation is humility. It admits, I don't trust myself forever, so I will design around my weakness. Third, stop confusing affordability with wisdom. Just because you can buy something does not mean you should. Just because others have it does not mean you need it. The gap between what you earn and what you spend, that gap is where freedom lives. Most people close that gap as fast as they can. Wise people protect it. Saving money feels impossible until you stop asking, can I afford this, and start asking, does this serve my future? There is another hidden reason saving feels heavy. People think saving means locking money away forever. It doesn't. Saving is delayed gratification with a purpose. It is planting seeds. It is choosing growth over noise. Once you build even a small emergency fund, something changes inside you. Fear reduces,
Decisions become calmer. You stop reacting and start choosing. And that inner shift is priceless. In the next part, we'll talk about the deepest layer of all, identity. Why some people save naturally and others sabotage themselves no matter how much they earn. When you understand that, saving will stop feeling impossible and start feeling inevitable. Now we move deeper, exactly where the truth begins to settle. At the core of every financial struggle is not income, it is identity. People don't behave according to what they know, they behave according to who they believe they are. If deep inside you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, then no matter how much money comes in, it will quietly find a way to leave, not because you are careless, but because your habits are trying to stay loyal to your self-image. This is uncomfortable to hear, but powerful to understand. Some people earn little and still save. Some people earn a lot and still feel broke. The difference is not math, it is mindset. Think about this slowly. A person who sees themselves as a builder asks, how do I protect this money? A person who sees themselves as a survivor asks, how do I relieve today's stress? Saving money feels impossible when every rupee, every dollar is treated as emotional medicine. Stress spending, celebration spending, comparison spending, escape spending. Money was never meant to carry your emotions. That burden is too heavy for it. Let me tell you a short story. There was a young man who grew up watching his parents worry about bills every month. Money conversations were filled with fear. When he started earning, he promised himself one thing: I will enjoy life. And he did. Every paycheck became a reward: travel, gadgets, dining out. It felt like freedom until one unexpected expense arrived, then another. Suddenly, the same fear returned, stronger than before. Why? Because he changed his income but not his financial identity. Saving becomes natural only when you shift from short-term relief to long-term dignity. Dignity is knowing that one emergency cannot destroy you. Dignity is sleeping peacefully without checking your bank balance at night. Dignity is choice. The fix is not punishment, the fix is alignment. You don't save by hating spending, you save by loving your future more than your impulses. Here is a quiet rule that changes everything. Your future self should be treated like someone you deeply respect. Would you steal from someone you respect? Then why steal from your future? When you save, you are not losing money, you are transferring it from your present self to your future self. And that future version of you, calmer, wiser, freer, will thank you. Another important shift: stop thinking of saving as an endpoint, it is a foundation. Savings give you time, time gives you clarity, clarity gives you better decisions lead to wealth. Rushing skips this entire chain. Most people want investment returns before they build emotional discipline. That is like trying to run before learning to stand. First, stability, then consistency, then growth. This is why simple habits matter more than complex strategies. A small automatic transfer, a monthly review without judgment, a conscious pause before every major expense. These are not dramatic actions, but they quietly separate those who stay stuck from those who move forward. Saving stops feeling impossible the moment your behavior matches your values. When your money begins to reflect who you are becoming, not who you were afraid to be. And that is where peace enters. Yes, let's bring everything together. There comes a moment in every person's financial journey when struggle stops feeling like bad luck and starts feeling like a message asking you to slow down, to reflect, to realign. Saving money never felt impossible because you were weak. It felt impossible because no one taught you how to think long-term in a short-term world. You were taught to earn but not to protect, to spend but not to pause, to impress but not to build. The truth is simple yet powerful. Wealth is created not by extraordinary income, but by ordinary discipline practiced with patience. When you stop fighting your nature and start designing around it, saving becomes easier.
When you stop chasing validation and start choosing stability, money starts staying. When you respect your future more than your impulses, peace replaces pressure. Remember this always. You don't need to save perfectly, you just need to save consistently. You don't need to become rich overnight, you need to become wise daily. Every small amount you save is a vote for freedom. Every unnecessary expense you avoid is a quiet act of self-respect. Every month you stay disciplined, you move one step away from fear. And one day, without drama, without noise, you will look back and realize saving was never about money. It was about becoming someone who thinks clearly, lives calmly, and chooses intentionally. That is true wealth. That is real freedom. And that journey begins today.